You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got all kinds of continued fallout from the Minnesota Lynx Indiana Fever game, more specifically around the Sophie Cunningham rally, around Cheryl Reeves' Trans Kid Belong shirt, around Caitlin Clark making a non-statement in one direction or the other. You can tell she remembers the backlash after the white privilege comments, of which I crushed her for a week over it. I did. We lost 2,000 subscribers. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. I thought it was bullshit comments. I thought it was disingenuous comments, and it is what it is. But if anybody believed Caitlin Clark was going to give a statement other than what she gave here, then you haven't been paying attention. She was never going to go Sophie Cunningham, and she wasn't going to go Cheryl Reeve. She was going to give a in-the-box, condensed, middle-of-the-road, let's keep it about basketball answer. That's what was always going to happen here. All right? And she is getting crushed from both sides, to be quite honest with you. She's getting crushed. You got Natalie Nakase, a coach that I liked a lot, going out there making absurd comments. Well, Rhodes, you're going to crush her? Yeah, because she chose to wade into it. Caitlin Clark said, no, I'm not. I don't talk about these kind of things, so I'm not going to. And again, do I wish she would have come out and just been like, yeah, I agree with Sophie. It should be girls and women only in girls and women's sports. Do I wish you would have come out and said that? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Of course. Of course. It was never going to happen. But the fact that so many people actually thought it was going to happen means Sophie Cunningham has gotten people to watch that even Caitlin Clark didn't pull in. You've got people paying attention that even Caitlin Clark didn't because of Sophie's message. She's brought in yet another crowd. Told Ben Daniel this morning of the network of Ben Daniel channels, go subscribe. I say Caitlin Clark is your typical leftist, young, out-of-college woman from the Midwest that's going to vote conservative when she's 43 years old. All right? She's going to get older. Values start tightening up. She's going to get more conservative. That happens to a lot of people. A lot of people. Oh, I'm younger. I'm more of a free thinker. Yada, yada, yada. You get older and you're like, nah, I'm not going for the nonsense. I'm going for the common sense. Caitlin Clark.
I think for us, it's not really a discussion we really have in our locker room. I think it's for leagues and the governing bodies to work with their athletes to find solutions, but our focus is on basketball, and that's what we talk about and how we can get wins, and obviously we didn't do that tonight, so need to find an area to improve in that way.
Do you have any, reaction to the...
I just answered for you.
I just answered. That was it. That's as far as she was going to go. If you expected something different, you haven't been paying attention to Caitlin Clark. I don't know what else to say. That's a fact. She was never going to wade into this. In a league full of radicals, she's trying to stay in the middle. Good luck. By the way, Caitlin, these players aren't going to like you and respect you anymore for this stance even if you came out and was like, yeah, put all the swinging dicks into the WNBA, they're still going to hate you. You're still going to get treated the same way you get that Sophie Cunningham. I mean, honestly, at times I feel like they show Sophie more respect on the court than they do Caitlin Clark. I don't know if that's an age thing. Sophie's played with a lot of different players. Sophie and Brittany Griner are kind of tight, to be honest with you. They played on the Mercury together. Andy Fermel, one of the longest Caitlin Clark supporters in imaginable. Caitlin Clark is obviously the better player. Sophie Cunningham is clearly the better role model by standing up for girls and women against the woke mob in the WNBA. Wow. I mean, the response is all over the place. You asked, and she had a great answer. Just because you didn't get a gotcha moment out of Cece's answer, you think she dodged it. Move along. They're all scared to death of the lefty lunacy. I tend to agree with that. I do. Caitlin Clark and Sophie before the game.
It's Sophie, guys. Where's your black hair? No worries. I brought it. Sorry. How you doing? She forgets I have a broken leg. I have both legs. Sorry. Wow, this is so cool. She's fresh out of bed. Wow, this is fun.
There you go. Obviously, Sophie. I guess that's from yesterday before the game. I don't know. Maybe not. That lady can have a sign saying she doesn't like Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, but Riley and I cannot have a sign saying thank you, Sophie. That's Jennifer Say of XXXY. I didn't think I could dislike anyone more than Clark. Congrats, Cunningham. Signed, Jabba the Hutt. I mean, keeping it real. Oh, sick it was. Sophie. Oh. God, Wookie. Yeah. There's Riley Gaines. Jennifer Say right here. Sophie, thank you, a girl mom. Natalie Nakase. She decided to wade into the political waters, into the social waters. Here we go.
Coming out of the break, one of the big news stories has been Sophie Cunningham and the protests for her and protests against her. And, you know, they had a national televised game today and Cheryl, you know, wore a shirt, and it's just a conversation. I'm wondering, just what do you think about it? Do you think that's good for the league? Does it detract from the basketball? Is it just noise? I'm just wondering what your opinion is.
I think, thank you for that question. I think just in terms of how I'm seeing it is, if I could answer with, like, for me, sports is about belonging. It's about inclusivity. It's about allowing everyone to be their authentic self. You know, I'm big on that just because I have been criticized for my height, for my ethnicity. I've been in those "you shouldn't belong here" many times. And for me, I don't want that space, especially Golden State, to ever feel like that. So I'm all about women, little girls deserving to play, and that includes trans women.
Okay, but you don't. Here's the thing. You don't pretend your ethnicity. You don't make believe your ethnicity. These dudes dressing like women, they're playing dress up. They're playing make believe. They're playing a role. You were born your ethnicity. It's so illogical. It's insane. The only mental illness demanding that the rest of society adapt to the patient's delusion. Not going to happen here. If you want that out of this channel, it's not going to happen. Martina Navratilova crushing Natalie Nakase. How's including males on women's teams inclusive for female athletes who lost that spot to a male? The ignorance is astounding. Great point. Great point. Dave Portnoy, because we got this nutcase in the media. I don't know if he writes for The Guardian. I don't know if this is his article. Quote, Cunningham is now in the act accepting the role as the right's anti-black, anti-transgender culture war ambassador, the roles originally intended for Caitlin Clark. Anti-black? When has Sophie said a damn thing about blacks? Dave Portnoy. How did Sophie saying trans girls shouldn't compete in girls' sports turn into Sophie hates black people? I'm very confused about how those two things are relatable. Because you can't do anything without race taking part in it. When Megan Rapinoe, Billie Jean King, Simone Biles, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Naomi Osaka, and Coco Gauff speak about politics, it's, quote, heroic and bigger than sports. But when Sophie Cunningham answers a political question, she was asked, it's, quote, a distraction from the game and disgusting. When did we let our sports and media get so politically biased? We are being indoctrinated, and unfortunately, most of you are lapping it up. That's the comedian Jeff Dye. Absolutely. Absolutely. There are going to be people on here that's going to think I either was too critical of Caitlin Clark or not critical enough. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If I expected her to come out and be like, yeah, she's going to answer this thing just like Sophie, I knew that wasn't going to happen. She voted for Kamala Harris. I knew that wasn't going to vote. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Even though this is a issue that's an 80-20 issue in the country. And again, they won't tell you there's a massive Democratic faction, a literal Democrat organization that's been attending these rallies in support of Sophie Cunningham. Oh, you didn't know that. Yeah, look it up. Look it up. It's a issue that crosses conservatives, centrist, common sense Democrats, if there is any left at this point. Yeah, this is going on my main channel. Yeah, I figure I'll lose some subs. Oh, well. Yeah, they'll come back if they want to keep up with what the hell's going on. Again, do I wish Caitlin would have been like, hell yeah, keep them dudes out? It was not going to happen. And I never once thought it was going to. Now, if she would have came out and been like, hell yeah, let the floodgates, if she would have gave Natalie Nakase kind of answer, or if she'd have been like, hell yeah, I believe that all biological men, I believe in inclusion and blah, 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 and let them in. I'd have crushed her right here on this channel to everybody. And if she ends up saying it, I will crush her. All right? Plain and simple. Nobody is off limits. Not a soul. Since the day I hit record 12,000 videos ago. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.